A bit ago at the D23 Expo, we got the first teaser for the Percy Jackson and the Olympians Disney Plus series. This series has been being talked about for a while, and the news and glimpses at the behind-the-scenes details have been really cool. And this trailer was so good! From the iconic I Didn't Want to Be a Half-Blood line from the first chapter of the series, to glimpses of the camp signs and the Poseidon cabin, and even the campers themselves. It all looks so good! I can't wait anymore, but it's still so far away. But this teaser was enough to get my brain turning as to my hopes and wants for this series overall. And today I'm going to express some of these thoughts in my Percy Jackson show wish lists hopes video thing. Hope you enjoy. Hope number 1. It's a good show. Let's get the most obvious one out of the way first. These books introduce so many people, including myself, to Greek mythology, clever writing, and amazing characters. These stories are amazing and they really need to be given justice on screen. The first book got a musical that was pretty good, but they never got an on-screen adaptation, which is a real shame.
But Clover, there are already Percy Jackson movies. They released a while ago.
Oh, silly the Blev from YouTube channel The Blev. There is no such thing as Percy Jackson movies. I just want the show to be a worthy adaptation of the books that I love, and with author Rick Riordan and his wife being heavily involved behind the scenes, it's almost guaranteed. Hope number 2. We get past the first 2 books. Like I said, the first book, The Lightning Thief, already had a good musical, so I'd really like to see them bring the later books into the general public. And yeah, the second book, Sea of Monsters, is fine, but really the third book is where things start to heat up. We get introduced to fan-favorite characters like Talia Grace, Nico D'Angelo, and Apollo. The series starts to shift away from summer camp adventures and into an epic. The main plot and conflict begin to emerge as Luke and the Titans grow in power. And if the show's first 2 seasons are successful and we can get to the Titans' Curse, aka the third book, I fully believe this show will be a success and lay the groundwork for future projects in this world. Hope number 3. The side characters get a chance to shine. Several of the side characters from Camp Half-Blood don't get a lot of time for us to get to know them. In fact, Selena Beauregard and Charlie Beckendorf just kind of become important in the last book if you hadn't read the side stories. This is why I want to see them work in some aspects from the short stories like The Bronze Dragon or even The Sword of Hades into the TV series. I don't know how well they would be able to do this, maybe as like specials in between seasons, but I think they could work it out. And if not, then introduce these characters earlier in the story and give them more moments with the main cast before and after they go on their quests. I think that would be a really good idea. Hope 4. They keep the tone balance from the books. The trailer and what some of the cast and crew have said behind the scenes means that we could be looking at a potentially darker take on the story. Which, yeah, these stories are pretty dark. They're about teenagers fighting monsters and ancient forces threatening to tear apart their world. But I do hope that they also remember the lighthearted moments. Part of what people love about Percy is that he's a goofball. I mean, just look at some of the titles he makes as the book's first-person narrator. I accidentally vaporize my pre-algebra teacher. I go snowboarding with a pig. I become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. These are all funny with context and even funnier without. I do want them to keep in some of this iconic humor, but I do like the dark tone as well. Basically what I'm saying is, don't do what people say Thor Love and Thunder did and have unfunny jokes during emotional moments. Hope 5. Keep references to the other books to a minimum. The Percy Jackson and the Olympians series has multiple sequels and spin-off books. Heck, I've been seeing for a while that people want the last season of the show to give us a glimpse at Camp Jupiter and the Roman demigods. I mean, that could be alright, but I don't really want that. I want to keep the story mostly self-contained. We already have cinematic universes all over the place. Just keep this story grounded and as if it'll only be the 5 seasons that correlate to the original 5 books. Besides, the Kane Chronicle movies are already gonna be on Netflix rather than Disney+, so it seems that crossover would be unlikely. Of course, if a series for Heroes of Olympus, Trials of Apollo, or even Magnus Chase did come out, I would watch them. But let's take this all one step at a time. And my final hope is that the show can coexist with the books. This really just goes with the idea of adapting a previous work into a new media. Of course, they're not going to be exactly the same, and of course, you're going to have people who only saw the series not understanding certain things that people reading the books would. Characters won't look the same or maybe even act the same. But remember, at the end of the day, a good adaptation is telling the same story as the source material. This show will hopefully, fingers crossed, be the next evolution of the franchise. But we should also keep in mind where it all started and the way the franchise was before this new adaptation came. And hey, hopefully this show will get more fans of the books, which is always a good thing. Anyway, those are just some of my hopes and thoughts for the Percy Jackson and the Olympians TV series. Of course, we're still very early on when it comes to news about this show, so many things could change or be confirmed. But hey, that just makes the wait more fun. And even if the show somehow doesn't turn out as good as we hoped, at least we'll still have these characters and stories that we love in book form. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you're new here. Also, comment what you're hoping for this series. See you in the next one. Bye.